Hello everybody, welcome back and let's simply get started from here on. Finally here I am. Almost all the day I've been out, so it's been almost next to impossible to just simply go live. And finally in the evening I'm back and now we are gonna be going live. Already we are live and we have to just discuss about some of the things and that will combine both WebRTC as well as the auto scaling groups that is related to AWS and all. So this time we are gonna be discussing about both. The duration of the live may be around 1 hour or something, or maybe more than that, because after that I'm gonna be learning something. So don't. As for the projects and all, of course today I will not be able to work on them. So let's simply start working on them tomorrow, from tomorrow onwards, because of course don't have lots. Enough time for now. Going forward from here on. So the thing that actually that was missed, let's simply talk about that. So click on these projects and that was the let's talk one. This is the one. So simply open it, code, and in case if we just miss something, then we will be just simply going through it again. By the way, this was the thing that I was talking about at the end in the morning. I just simply left from over here. So it's like I'm making the first of all, whenever the user disconnection happens, suppose user reloaded the page, I'm talking about the when you are inside the meeting and user left the meeting, user left or user reloaded the page. In that case, what happens? In that case, socket connection that gets disconnected, and at the end I just simply find the user who actually reloaded the page or who just left the meeting, and I remove that particular user from the database, kind of from the server side. And after that I make another user a host. So just I select a user that is at the 0th index, and that user becomes the host. Last but not the least, I just I inform the once that, just a minute, host meeting participants, once I got that, I'm gonna be informing host. So whoever person becomes the host, at that time I just update its information. That's great. And last but not the least, I inform others. That means apart from host, other participants, they are informed about the new user. Other participants in the sense this is that user who actually left, and here I'm using socket. So other participants simply means apart from user, the user who actually left, I will be informing all the participants over here, and I'm using directly meeting ID over here. And if you actually remembered, at the top we created kind of a room for using the meeting ID. So all the sockets IDs are just under this meeting ID, and if I'm emitting to this particular meeting ID, that simply means the message is going to be broadcasted to all the member under that particular meeting, or who are actually part of that particular meeting. So I'm able to use this meeting over here mainly because I just use the socket.join function somewhere just whenever it got connected. So not here actually, yeah, here it is. So as soon as the user got connected, so I just created a kind of a space using that meeting ID. So this is the, I mean all the socket IDs that I have inside the meeting. It's like this. There is a meeting, and that meeting has a lot of participants. Okay, so what I said, the meeting has its own ID, that is right, and with the help of that meeting's ID, I'm referencing the meeting. That simply means over here, if I show you this thing, uh, this is the meeting, and at the end of the day, meeting will have its meeting will have a key, and meeting will have the values, and there can be many keys and many values. This key is actually a string, and that string is actually meeting ID. Okay, so this is the meeting ID, this is the key, and this key is assigned this value. Ultimately there is host and there is participant. So what I mean, that meeting ID, that means this key references to this particular object. That simply means using the meeting ID you can find the host as well as the participant. That simply means using the meeting ID you can find the meeting, and once you found the meeting, you will be able to check the host as well as the participant. That host and participants, all of them have their own connection IDs. So what I said, if you actually create a space using this meeting ID, and that space is like socket.join meeting ID. So if you just do like this, socket.join and meeting ID and all, so at that time my space is going to be created, and inside that space all the host host is going to be there, and all the participants are gonna be there inside that particular space. And now, as using the meeting ID, you created a space, and the host and the participants, they are already the part of the space. So whenever you emit the message to meeting ID, So if you send any event to the meeting ID, that event will be broadcasted or will be emitted to the host as well as the participants. So this is how it just simply goes. So I hope it does make sense. So we've done this, by the way. So let's simply close this. And at the end of the day, whenever the user gets disconnected over here, so the user got disconnected somewhere here, and at the end I'm just simply informing others. Informing others in the sense I'm letting them know that okay, this is the user, disconnected user. I'm gonna be sending the info of the user to those participants, and I will be telling you this is the user who actually left. So do one thing, remove this user, or simply said kind of remove the peer connection. So yeah, remove the peer connection of this user from your side, your end. So let's see what we do here. So over here, whenever the participant leaves, so I'm informing others about the disconnected participant, and I'm doing nothing but I'm just simply saying remove peer connection. Remove peer connection in the sense, what all will I be doing here? First of all, I have my connection ID. So using this connection ID, what can I find? Using this connection ID, I can find my peer connection. I can find my remote stream. Okay, so I can find my remote streams. I can find my peer connection, and what else? And one more thing, I have to close the peer connection. I have to what can I do? I have to with the help of the remote stream. So what is the use of remote stream? Why do I have this remote stream over here? Remote streams are mainly used for when we listen for event that is on track. So whenever we listen for this particular event, so from here we actually get the track or stream. I mean, you can get anything, and then you just simply push it to the remote stream, so that later whenever you need it, that particular stream, so you can directly get it from remote streams. So for that particular region we actually save it here, and now as that is a stream, so we can just directly stop it. So this is what we do. So PC remote stream, and there's one more thing that I'm missing, and that is on the peer connection side, right? So on the peer connection side, I have my peer connection, I have my remote stream, and I have my RTP senders. RTP senders. And RTP senders are those who are actually sending audio or the video, so they become the part of RTP senders, and I'm gonna be setting it to null. So first of all, I will close the peer connection, set it to null. Remote streams, stop all the tracks. If even you don't even need to stop the tracks, because once the user is disconnected and once the peer connection is closed, you will not actually get the remote stream, so you don't even need to stop them. You just simply set it to null. Similarly, remove the remote streams, and similarly remove the RTP senders, and done. So let's see whether we are actually doing the same thing or not. So if I actually have a look over here, so first of all, what am I doing? Connections ID close. First of all, I'm closing the peer connection. After that, peer connection delete, remote stream delete, RTP senders delete, and you are done. So this is what we do. So this was the last thing that was actually remaining. So let me go to my eraser and just add this thing in the, what can I say, WebRTC flow, and once that is done, then that's okay. Almost everything is gonna be ready. So what am I saying here? The thing is pretty simple, and that is let me get rid of this, come back to this one lastly, and this is to when the user leaves the meeting. At that time, what I have to do? At that time, first of all, the first step is going to be close the peer connection. Close the peer connection. This is the first thing. And apart from this particular thing, and whenever user leaves the room, so disconnect event will trigger in signaling server. First of all, this will happen, and lastly, what do we have to do after that? So we have to close the peer connection. So close the peer connection, and after that delete delete the peer connection, delete the RTP senders, and lastly delete the remote streams. So these are the things that I delete the remote stream. That's gonna be fine. So this is how it's gonna be going on. So overall everything's clear, and these are the extra things that, like, whenever I rebuild this, so these are the tech stack that are going to be used over there, and that's it, nothing else. And how you are gonna be doing it, like how you are actually gonna be deleting the streams, RTP senders and PC and all that, we can just get to know on the flow. By the way, it's easy, it's just the business logic, so you don't need to worry about that. coming back to this particular thing, this is the overall flow. So what happens, let's first of all go through it once. There are two things. I mean, right now I'm just taking two users. This is the host, this is the normal participant. There can be multiple users, so I'm just taking the example of two, and this is the signaling server, ultimately socket connection, socket server I can say. So I'm just using socket.io just simply connected to the database. Once this signaling server is here, so what will happen? First of all, host is gonna send send a request to join the meeting. So of course, as soon as you click on the meeting, you will be inside the meeting, and at that time what will happen? Ask to connect. So from the host side, an event will be triggered to the server, and host will be asking the user to asking the server, okay, let me join the meeting. And what will the server say? Okay, you are the host, you can directly join the meeting, and that's it. Once the host actually joined the meeting, and after that you will be just simply saving the state and all, and this is how the job gets done. The next thing is that the next thing comes about the participant. If there is a participant and that participant tries to join the meeting, then what will happen? The participant will ask to connect. Then what will happen? Server will say that okay, you are not the host, so I am sending a request to the host. So request to join meeting event will be triggered to the host, and host now can allow you or host can deny you. Once host allows or denies, host. Alrighty, just a minute. Give me a second. I gotta do something now. I gotta make a call, and then I'll be back very soon. Just a sec. Hello. Alrighty, back. Okay, so what I was saying, the host can actually allow you or deny you, and at the end the host just simply sends grant join permission event to the signaling server. Then signaling server will check okay whether the host actually allowed or denied. If the host denied, in that case you will be notified ki okay deny join event will be triggered to you, and you will get the particular event on the front end side. And at that time you can just simply redirect. You will be redirected to the home screen, and your socket connection will be disconnected. In case host actually allowed you, then at that time you have to inform yourself. That means new participants should be informed about other participants, and other participants, that means this time host and other people too, I mean including host, there can be another participants as well. So they should be informed about new participant. So you will be informed because you are trying to join the meeting, so you are the new participants, so you will be informed about other participants, and others will be informed about you. As soon as you are informed about others, you will be creating peer connections for others. So as many people are there, you will be creating as many peer connections, so that those peer connections can connect it to all those people. Got that? So if there are 5 people, you will be creating 5 peer connections over here, so that using those 5 peer connections, you can connect it to all the 5 people. So in this way, you will have 5 peer connections. Those peer connections will be connected to 5 people, and in this way, once they are connected, you will be able to just once the connection is established, you will be able to get the data from all those 5 people, and you can just simply render that. So this is how it simply happens. So over here you have to create peer connections for 5 people, and when others get notified about you, so they may have some previous peer connections, and they will create a new peer connection. Suppose host had already 3 peer connection, for example. Okay, now you joined, and as soon as you joined, host will be informed about you, and host will have to create one more peer connection, because with the help of that peer connection, host can connect it to you. So if you connect with somebody, so you just simply do one thing. If there are 3 people, you create 3 peer connections, and those 3 peer connections are connected to those 3 people, and that's it, done. Similarly, as soon as you join that, host, if it has some previous peer connections or doesn't have, it doesn't really matter. As soon as you join, host will have to create a new peer connection, so that using that peer connection, host can connect to you. So one peer connection for 1 people, so it is a P2P peer connection. So even if you want to connect to multiple people, so you will have to create multiple peer connections so that you can connect it to those people one by one peer connection only for one people, at least using this way, the way we are going ahead. Okay, once you get the peer connections, then you will be once you participant joins and you are informed, then you will be creating the peer connection. Let's see how the peer connection is actually created. But if you actually keep in mind कि as soon as when you actually when the host allows and denies, and when the socket connection gets connected and all, at that time, meanwhile, one more thing happens, because when you send the request, at that time, once you are allowed or once you are in the meeting, so your media container will run. Media container in the sense media related code will run, and at that time what will happen, you will get your local stream, because right now you are in the meeting. So as soon as you are allowed or you are in the meeting, so what will happen, your computer will automatically run a piece of code that just runs after this. And what will that piece of code do? That piece of code will get the local stream. What is the local stream? Your camera, your audio and all. So just after this, as soon as this connection happens, what happens, a piece of code runs, so ultimately init a local stream, so you get the local stream. How you get the local stream? There is a method called navigator dot get devices dot something like this, get devices dot get media and all, something like this. There is a method. You can just make a call on, search on Google. By the way, it is, if I'm not wrong, navigator. By the way, when you work on VS Code, you get the suggestions. So navigator dot get devices dot get media, something like this. There is one method. And if you wanna get the screen, so get if you just write this much, and if you just click control and space, you will get lots of options. So yeah, even if you want to share the screen, or if you want to share your video or audio, you will get all the options or methods over there to just simply get the stream. Okay, so you what happens, once you are allowed and you are in the meeting, so you get your local stream. And what you do, you just save the local stream somewhere, so that whenever you need, you get the local stream back. So you just simply save it. And similarly, cleanup function ki, okay, once you actually leave the meeting, so what should happen, whatever local stream you have, that local stream should be stopped, right? So all the tracks inside that local stream should be stopped. So ultimately, this is what happens. As soon as you are in the meeting, somehow it is your responsibility how you manage that, but as soon as you are inside the meeting, you have to get your local stream, and you have to save it somewhere. Why do you have to save it somewhere? Because later you will need it. When you need it, we'll figure it out, but you will definitely need it. So this is what happens. And after that, and coming back to this particular point, host allowed. So host allowed you to join the meeting. Now you got informed about others, and others got informed about you. Then what will you do? As you got informed about others, you will be creating peer connections. So what will be you will be creating peer connections for others. So if there are 3 people, so you will be creating 3 peer connections. Why? So that using those 3 peer connections, you can connect to all those 3 people. Simple. One peer connection is going to be used for one person. So if it's gonna be P2P connection, even if you have, it's kind of obvious. One peer connection can only connect to one people. So if you want to connect many people, you will have to create many peer connections, so that you can connect to those many people one by one using those peer connections. I hope it makes sense. Similarly, over here, they will be creating the peer connections. As simple as that. And meanwhile, what happened, because you are in the meeting, so you got your local stream and you saved that local stream somewhere. Okay, and so that now what will happen, you will create the peer connection. How do we create the peer connection? For peer connection, creating the peer connection, we call this method we call this class new RTCP peer connection. It simply creates the peer connection. Having said that, you need to configure it a bit. You will have to add the instance servers and all, but at the end, this peer connection is going to be created. But when this peer connection gets created, at that time you already have local stream. Why? Because when you joined the meeting, you got your local stream, you saved it somewhere, so that when creating the peer connection, you can get your local stream, and from your local stream you will be getting the tracks. What are the tracks? There can be audio track, there can be video track, and you will be adding it to the peer connection. So the peer connection object that you get, you will be adding it to this. As simple as that. And okay, as soon as you added it, you will get senders. Okay, whenever you add your tracks So whenever you call pc.add track, so whenever you add a track to the peer object, you get a sender. If you are adding audio track, you will get audio sender. If you are adding video track, you will get video sender. And you are going to save this sender. That sender can be audio sender as well as the video sender inside RTP senders. What does this RTP sender contain? This RTP sender first of all has your ID. Using the ID, it's going to save your audio sender as well, video sender as well. So you can just simply get, if I show you the structure, or if I try to map it here, RTP senders. So this RTP sender is nothing but an object. Okay, it will have your ID just like this. So it will have your connection ID. So using your connection ID, it will be referencing to another object just like this. And inside that particular object, it will have two keys. First one is gonna be audio. Over here your audio sender is going to be saved, and it will have video. Over here your video sender is going to be saved. Question: why do you need to save these senders? I mean, of course, if you are saving it, there should be a reason behind it. Okay, you are saving these RTP senders, and it's pretty simple. I already have my connection ID. So using my connection ID, I can actually create an object, and inside that particular object, as soon as I add the tracks to the peer connection, I got the connection, I got the sender. And if I'm adding the audio track, that is the audio sender. If I'm adding the video track, connection ID, so I can simply save it inside this object. It is not really a big deal. Okay, once I saved it, what is the use of it? And the use is that this sender is responsible for sending your stream to the other peer. So why it is responsible? Because this is the track you added to the peer connection, right? So this a track in the sense, this is the audio track or the video track that you added to the peer connection. And because this is the track that is added to the peer connection, so whenever a peer connection is going to be established between two peers, so only this is the stream that will be sent to the other peer, because whatever you added, only that can be sent. If you didn't add something, how can that be sent, right? So this is the track or the stream that you added, so this stream will be sent to the other peer. Okay, so and while setting this stream and while adding these tracks, you got the sender. What is the use of this sender? Later, as you have this audio sender and the video sender, so using the connection ID, you can get the audio sender and video sender. And later, if you want that, okay, I don't want to send this particular audio, I want to send some other audio, or I don't want to send my camera video, I want to send the video of another camera, or I want to share my screen. So at that time, instead of sending your camera's video, you will be sending the video of your screen. So at that time, you won't have to do anything. You will have to just replace the track here. So using the sender, suppose this is the sender that you have. So what will you do? First of all, you will get the sender. How will you get the sender? From the RTP sender, I will get my first of all, with the help of my connection ID, I will get the sender, and that sender contains audio sender as well as video sender. So suppose I want to share the screen. When I started sharing the screen, at that time, now I want to stop sharing my camera, rather I want video of my camera, rather I want to share my screen. So at that time, I can just do one thing. I will get the audio sender, so or video sender, sorry. And once I got that, what will I do? Replace track. So replace track, and what will happen when I replace the track? Replacing the track, of course, if you want to share your stream, so you should have your screen stream. And how you can get that? It's easy to get the screen stream. So you can easily get your screen stream, and the method is navigator dot get media dot get devices, something like this, get screen or something. So there is a method. Using that, you can get the stream. Once you got the stream, you can get the track. Once you got the track, what you will do? You will first of all find the video sender that you had earlier, and you will do nothing but replacing the track, and you will have your screen track over here. Now screen track is actually connected to the is saved in the sender, and that sender is nothing but the object that you got when you actually set the tracks initially. So this sender is also automatically connected to your peer connection. Why? Because this is the same sender that you got when setting the tracks initially. So if you are actually replacing any track in the sender, just here, if you are, come on, I can't get that or what? Okay, so I think I've removed that. Yeah, so over here, if you are actually changing anything inside the sender, that simply means that sender is of what? That sender belongs to the peer connection. So if you change anything inside the sender, and if you replace the track, so that track got replaced for the peer connection as well. That simply means peer connection will now be sending the track of your screen stream. So this way you can share the screen or you can share the camera. So this is how it just simply goes. Let's simply delete this. I hope it does make sense. Having said that, I will be just even writing the code again using the same way. I mean, I will be taking the reference of this diagram that I made, and we will be working on it together. Having said that, let's continue from here on. And once you got the sender, you just simply save the sender in the RTP senders, and that's it. So what happened? When you start sharing the screen, just replace the track with the track of the screen in the sender. That's it. So once you replace the track, your screen will start getting shared. So this is the thing happens. One more thing, as soon as you add the track to the peer connection, so whenever something changes in the peer connection, at that time what happens? At that time there is an event. What is that event? PC on negotiation needed. Negotiation is needed in the sense, by default peer connection has nothing. As soon as you change something, now it needs to negotiate, now it needs to clarify, now it needs to make sure that okay, whatever changes you made that have been ultimately that have been applied or that have been taken care of. So suppose I made some changes, okay, after some changes something should happen, right? I just added new track. Okay, after adding the new track, something should happen. I should be creating the offer so that offer knows about that particular change that I made. So that's what I'm saying. So as soon as you add the peer connection over here, so whenever I add the track in my peer connection, what happens? This particular event gets triggered. And what is that event? PC on negotiation needed. It even makes sense. On negotiation needed, that means I changed something and right now negotiation is needed. So it's just makes everything clear. And what do I do inside this? So as soon as I add my peer connection, I will create my offer. And if you know about peer connections and also, you know that first of all you create the offer. What is the offer? It's just about your media stream and all. So once you create the offer, it is just the information about the kind of data you are sending. You are sending the audio, you are sending the video, what is the format, what are the ICE candidates, even it contains some of the ICE candidates as well. Simply said, it contains all the information about your PC related to the data that you will be transmitting, that you will be sending to the other peer. So okay, you created the offer, then what will you do? After creating the offer, you will be setting the local description, because once you created the offer is just created. It is not set to your description. It doesn't get set automatically. Okay, so ultimately you created the offer, but your browser does not know that. Okay, so what will you do? You will set the local description. As soon as you set the local description, your offer will be saved on your browser, on your side, and as soon as this local is and the browser will know, okay, this is the data and all, this is the offer that we are actually sending to the other peer and all. So this is what happens. And there's one most important thing. As soon as you set the local description, what will happen? Your browser will automatically start gathering the ICE candidates. What are the ICE candidates? ICE candidates are nothing but the path, the route, the way to tell the other peer that this is the right way to just simply connect to each other. So it is a route, it is a way to tell the other peer, I will send the ICE candidates to the other peer. Now other peer can decide which is the best path to connect, which is the best route to connect, which is the best candidate to connect, and using that particular ICE candidate, they will the peer connection is going to be established. So what will happen? As soon as I create the offer, set the local description, your browser will automatically start gathering the ICE candidates. And when it starts gathering the ICE candidates, so there can be two things. First of all, it gathers the what we have inside the ICE candidate. Inside the ICE candidate, you have your private port, public private port, like which port you are on right now. If you are suppose on Google Meet, so that Google Meet application must be running on some port, right? So which port you are on your local device, and what is the private IP address, what is the public IP address, what is the public port, all these things it contains. And once you send it to the other peer knows, okay, this is it. And even it contains about the information about your TCP and UDP protocol. Not only this, it actually contains a lot of stuff that is actually used to just make a successful connection and all. So it contains the information related for the connection, and you just simply send it to the other peer. And as soon as simple created the offer, set the local description, ICE candidates started gathering, and once ICE candidates start gathering, at that time a request will go to the stun server. Why? Because when you create your browser creates the ICE candidates, at that time your browser needs to know about your public IP, your public port. Why does your browser actually need your public IP? Because using the public IP, only other person in any part of the world can find you. Your private IP is just for you. Using your private IP, nobody can find you. Why? Because your router has the public IP. Okay, a router assigned you the private IP. So if you suppose there is a top level router, and that router, there are many devices. There is your laptop, there is your PC, there is your another mobile, there is your this mobile, something like that. So there are many devices that are connected to that particular router. So router has the public IP address, and router actually assigns the private IP addresses to all the devices that are connected to that. So in that case, no one, that private IP address is just for you. That is not for others, and others cannot find you. Even if you just try to find, it's not gonna be possible. So how will other people find you if they are from anywhere? If they are suppose they are living somewhere else, and how will they find you? How I mean your device? At that time, they can find you using your public IP address. So whatever your public IP address is, they can find you using that. But your browser does not know that. So what will your browser do? Your browser will make a request to the stun server. Now what are the stun servers? They are really lightweight servers, like they don't do quite heavy stuff. You just simply send the request. As soon as you send the request to the stun servers will know, okay, this is the request, and this request is actually coming from this particular private IP address, sorry, private IP and public IP. It will know both, because of course your router will send and all. So at the end of the day, it will return you your public IP and port. You send the request, stun server will know, okay, this is coming from this public IP address, resend it. So it just simply doesn't do quite a lot. Gets the request, gets your public IP and port, and simply sends it back. So it is quite a lightweight server, doesn't cost much and all, and that is why they are free. Stun servers are free, so you can find many stun servers directly on Google, and you can just simply use them. And not only by Google, they are by many organizations, and also you can just simply use them, and they are free, so don't worry about that. So stun servers will simply provide you a public IP and port. The ICE candidates are gonna be generated, and that's it. Once the ICE candidates are generated, congratulations, you are done. And as soon as your browser starts gathering the ICE candidates, it starts gathering, that means process starts. Then ICE candidates are going to be gathered, that means now your browser has the ICE candidate. As soon as your browser has the ICE candidates, at that time this particular event on PC on ICE candidate simply says that now your browser has the ICE candidate. At that time this particular event will trigger. Why? Because now your browser has the ICE candidates, so you should get the ICE candidates. You have to send the ICE candidates to the other peer, to the other person. You can only send the ICE candidates to the other person when you yourself have that. If you don't have your own ICE candidates, how will you send it to the other person? So when your browser, as soon as the local description got set, so this is the local description, as soon as this got set, your browser started gathering the ICE candidates. Even your browser sent the request to the stun servers, they don't do anything. They simply get your response request. Okay, check, okay, this request is actually coming from there. Okay, and the public and port, public IP and port are this. So they simply return the same thing back. It doesn't really do much. And once you get that, so ultimately ICE candidate are going to be gathered. And once they are gathered, how will you get them? There should be a way to get them, right? So as soon as you have gathered the ICE candidates, or your browser has gathered the ICE candidate, once the process is done, you will get them here. So this particular event, pc.on ICE candidate, this will be triggered automatically. You don't need to do anything. Okay, and at that time event.candidate will be your ICE candidate. And what will you do? Send the ICE candidate to the other peer. Your browser gathered, you got it using this event. Now send it to the other peer. How will you send? Using socket.io. So simply send it to the other peer will get it. What will that peer do? I don't know. But okay, my job was what? My job was to simply create a peer connection. Once the peer connection is created, add the local stream, and whenever the local stream is added, this on negotiation will trigger, and then I will create the offer. I will set the local description. As soon as it is said, So it will generate I will get the ICE candidates. As soon as I get the ICE candidates, I will just simply send it to the other peer. Apart from this particular thing, I myself generated the offer. I even set the local description. So I will even send the offer to the other peer. Process is gonna be same. The way you send the ICE candidates to the other peer, the same way you will be sending the offer to the other peer. So you can actually create a function that does nothing, that simply takes your offer or the ICE candidate and that simply sends. As simple as that. So if you actually come back here, coming back to this main process, over here the host can actually allow you or deny you. Once the host allows you, so at that time you are gonna be notified about others, and you will be creating the peer connections for others. Now you know how you create the peer connection, and apart from that particular thing, others will be notified about you, so they will create peer connection for you. Now you even know that how peer connections are actually created. There is one thing missing right now, and that is this on track. What is this? We will talk about it later. Okay, but overall things should be clear. Then what happens once you actually create the peer connections for others? So offer, you will create the offer. Yeah, I know how will I do that. You will set the local description. Yeah, you will get the ICE candidates. Yeah, then what will you do? You will send both of them to the signaling server. So ICE candidates and offer, both of them are going to be sent to the signaling server. Now signaling server will do nothing. You will tell, okay, this is the ICE candidate, this is the offer, I want to send it to other peers, everybody. So what will it do? Your server, signaling server will get it, and signaling server will send it to everybody. So whoever is the part of the meeting, this particular ICE candidate and offer will be broadcasted to all. Once it is broadcasted to all, over here, then you will check again, do I have the peer connection or don't I have the peer connection? Because over here what happened, as soon as you joined the meeting, right now you are getting the peer connection, right? You are getting it from the host. So from the host you are getting the ICE candidate, you are getting the offer. But as soon as you joined the meeting, at that time automatically your peer connection got created. You created peer connection for others, right? At that time, because you joined the meeting, now you want to connect it to others. If you want to connect it to others, you will have to create the peer connection. So you may have already created the peer connection, or you may not have created the peer connection. In that case, what will you do? So when you get the ICE candidates from others, so at that time you will be checking, do I have the peer connection? Great, if I have that. If I don't have, I will create. Then what will happen? Once you get the ICE candidates, once you get the offer, at that time, make sure, if at that time you will be setting the remote description. So using the offer, you can set the remote description. So first of all, you created the offer. There are two things. Local description, remote description. Local description is for you, remote description is whatever you are getting from the remote peers. So if you are getting something from others, you should set it in the remote streams. If you are creating something on your own, on your side, on your browser, if you are creating either the offer or the answer, you should be setting it in local description, because that is created locally. So if something is created locally, you will be setting it in the local description. If something is created remotely, that means on the other device, on the by the other user, so that will be set to the local remote description. Simple. Remote means about the other remote people. Description means tells the info, so it belongs to the remote user. Local means it belongs to the local user. It simply makes sense. So when you get the ICE candidates and offer, so you will be setting the offer, you will be setting the remote description using the offer. This job is done too. ICE candidates, you will also be setting the ICE candidates. How will you be setting? Setting the ICE candidates means adding the ICE candidate to the peer connection, because always, even if you have the offer, okay, so you are setting the remote description and local description, and when you get the peer connection, at that time you will be setting this ICE candidates, you will be setting the ICE candidates to the peer connection. Why? Because your peer connection needs to know about the ICE candidates. What are the ICE candidates? ICE candidates are nothing but a route, nothing but a way, nothing but a path through which you can connect it to the other peer. So your peer connection needs to know that whichever peer connection you created, that peer connection needs to know what is the best candidate. What will that candidate contain? That candidate will contain your IP address, your port number, maybe your private IP address, private port number. It contains many more things. So it will contain the information about you. So once the peer connection gets the information about you, now it can try to connect it to you. As simple as that. But if your peer connection does not know about you, this peer connection does not know about you, how can it connect? So you will be setting the ICE candidates. But there is a condition. You can only set the ICE candidates when your remote description is set. the way you only got the offer, you only created the, not only, or even created the offer, what should I say here? Okay, you got the ICE candidates when your offer got set. So first of all, you set the offer, then you got the ICE candidates. Coming back to this point here, over here, what did you do? Over here, first of all, you created the offer, then you say the flow is always going to be the same, either on your side or on the other peer side. It is not gonna change. So first of all, what you did, you created the offer, you set the local description, then you got the ICE candidates. Got that? Similarly, over here you will do the same thing. Coming back to this, okay, even if you have the ICE candidate, that doesn't matter. You have the ICE candidate in advance, okay, save it somewhere. So maybe create a pending ICE candidates and push it to that particular array. If you got the ICE candidates in advance, don't do anything. Why don't you have to do anything? Your flow is always going to be the same. If you have the offer, okay, great. Now set either the remote description or the local description. So we already set the local description. This offer came from the other user, from remote user, so we will be setting the remote description. So flow is simple. Get the offer on the answer. So first of all, you will have that. Once you have that, you will have to set the description. That this description can be anything. Once any kind of description is set, either you will be getting the ICE candidates or you will be adding the ICE candidates. So back to the host, when you created the offer, you set the local description, then you got the ICE candidates. Similarly over here, I got my offer, I will set my remote description, then I will add my ICE candidates. So ICE candidate is always gonna be at third number. First of all, whatever, you may have the answer, you may have the offer, you may set the remote description, you may set the local description, the ICE candidate will be at third number. That means, okay, once you have set the remote description, then you can add the ICE candidates. So over here, what you can do, you can just simply get your ICE candidates. You can, if the remote description is set, then simply add it to the peer connection, pc.add ICE candidate, they are gonna be added. Otherwise, if your remote description is not set, don't add them. So what should I do? I got the peer connection, so simply push it to an array. Create an array called pending ICE candidates, and over there push it to the array. So suppose over here you got the offer as well and you got the ICE candidates, you got both of them, but for some reason you could not set the remote description. As I said, ICE candidate will always be at third number. That means whether you have the answer or the offer, first of all set that, then add the ICE candidates. Otherwise don't add the ICE candidate. You may have the answer, you may have the offer, then you will have to set up. That can be local description, that can be remote description, anything. At third number, the turn for the ICE candidates is gonna come. Before that, do not do that, you will get the error. Even it is not allowed. Okay, so at third number you can just simply add your ICE candidates if you have the remote description. In case for some reason you could not create the even peer connection, you don't even have your offer set, remote description set, or local description set. I mean, that could be anything. Most of the time when you get something from somewhere, that simply means you have to set it into the remote description. Why? Because if something is created locally on your computer, that thing is saved in local description. If you get something from somebody means from remote user, so that thing, whether that is the offer, that is the answer, that should be set inside local remote. It makes sense. So your remote description is not set here. So do one thing, you got the ICE candidates in advance, you say wait, just you will simply push them to the ICE, this pending ICE candidates. You will simply say to them, wait, well, I don't have my remote description set, and if my remote description is not set, that means this is not your turn. First of all, what will I do? I will get the offer, I will set that, then your turn will come. Your turn is the third turn. So come when there is the right time, and at that time I will add. So as soon as you add the remote description, then you can just simply get all the pending candidates from that particular array, and you can just add them one by one. So this is gonna be simple flow. Okay, you added them, then what will happen? But if you actually remembered what you did, you got the offer from the other peer, great. You set the remote description, great. Then what? Once you set it, you can add the ICE candidates, because you have the ICE candidates as well, right? You got it from the other peer. Okay, you did that. Now what? What happened over here? Other peer created the peer connection. Okay, Once the peer connection is created, the other peer created the offer. Why? So that the other peer can send it to you. Why do you need the offer? So that you can know about the other peer. So there are two things, offer and answer. Other peer, mainly the first user, created the offer. The offer contains everything related to media, like what kind of data you will be getting from the other peer. And other peer, the first user, actually sent you the offer. When the offer got sent, you set it to the remote description. Now your browser knows that okay, this kind of data you will be getting from the other peer. Even your browser knows about the ICE candidates. These are the candidates, these are the paths through which, with the help of these paths, you will be connecting to the other peer. But the other peer doesn't know about you. Now you know about the other peer, about the first person, because that first person actually sent you the ICE candidates, actually sent you the offer. But the first person does not have any idea about you. So what will you do? You will create answer. Just answer and offer, they are the same. It's like the name is changing. Offer contain the information about the other peer. Your answer will contain the information about your media. As simple as that. You will send it to the other peer. Once you send it to the other peer will know about you. Now you know about first user. You have to follow the same process, do the same thing, send it to the other peer. Now other peer will know. Once both of you know about each other, the peer connection is going to be established. This is the simple thing that actually happens. So you got to know about other peer. Okay, great job. Now what will happen? You will create the answer. Why do you need to do that? So that other person can know about you, so that other peer can know about you. And how will that person know? You will have to create something. You will have to create an object that contains the information about your media. Okay, this is the video, this is the this type of video, this type of audio, this type of data or media stream you will be sending to the other peer. If the other peer does not know about you, then okay, forget about the connection. Okay, so other peer needs to know about you. So you created the answer. That is nothing but the offer. There is no difference between offer and answer. They are exactly the same. Offer got created on the first user side. You are creating the answer. Just name is different, and that's it. The job is the same. Answer will contain the information about your media stream and all. And and after that, what will you do? You created the answer. Then where you created the answer? You created the answer on your local device. So where will you be setting it? In the local description. Okay, what you did first, you created the offer on, first of all, what happened if you actually come back here when the first user does the same thing. So what happens? The first user creates the offer and sets the local description. Because the offer was created locally, it was set in the local description, and then you send the offer to the other peer got the offer. Right now, for the other peer, what happens? For this particular peer, the offer, it is created on the other device, that means remote device. That is why you set it to a remote description. Coming back to this answer you created, this answer is just a reply. You got the offer, great. Now you have to reply back, right? You have to tell him about you. So you created the answer. This answer contains the information about your media and all, and you created this answer on your local device. That is why it needs to be set to the local description. Always remember, there are two things: remote description, local description. Both of them need to be set. So you created the answer, you set the local description. Now what will happen? As soon as the local description is set, ICE candidates will start gathering. Same process, rather exactly the same process. The same thing happened here, if you actually remembered. If I come back to this one, I created the offer, I set the local description. As soon as I set the local description, third number, ICE candidates are always gonna be at third place. I created the offer, I set the local description. As soon as I set the local description, ICE gathering process started. Same over here, I created the answer. Okay, candidates. Now why do you need to need the ICE candidates? They contain the connection information, your public IP address and all. So using the ICE candidates only, two peers can connect. So it starts, and when ICE candidates are actually gathered, at that time you need to know about your public IP and port number, right? I have discussed about it a lot. Using your public IP and port number only, other peer can connect it to you. Now you have the offer. That means you know about the media details about the first user. You even have the ICE candidates, because you got both from the other user. You got the ICE candidates, you got the offer. You know about the media as well. You know about the connections as well. Okay, through these ways, these are the ways with which you can actually connect it to the other peer, but other peer doesn't know about you. So right now you need to send both. You need to send your ICE candidates as well to the other peer. You need to send your offer, that simply means answer, to the other peer. So okay, you created the answer, you set the local description. As soon as local description is set, you ICE gathering starts. That simply means you will get the ICE candidates. And when you get the ICE candidates, what will you do? Whenever you get the ICE candidates, if you actually remembered, I actually go to here, whenever you get the ICE candidate, this particular event gets triggered. Event.candidate, you can get the candidate. So somehow there is a way to, whenever your browser generates the ICE candidates, there is a way to get the ICE candidates. As soon as you get the ICE candidates, what will you do? You will send both in the sense, you will send your answer as well as the ICE candidates to where? To the first user. Why? First user send you the ICE candidates and offer so that you can know about the first user. Now you are sending answer and ICE candidates so that other person can know about you. Why is this needed? So that when both of you know about each other, at that time peer connection is going to be established. As simple as that. So you send it to the signaling server will forward it to the other peers, and at that time what will happen? You got the answer. Where was this answer created? This answer was created on the other device, on the remote device, and that is why you will be setting it to the remote description. As simple as that. Keep in mind, over here on the first user side, you already created the offer and you set the local description. That means you already have the offer, you already have the local description set. As simple as that. You already have your own ICE candidates. You even sent them to the other peer. So when you are sending the ICE candidates and the offer to the other peer, that simply means you have your ICE candidates as well, you have your offer as well, even local description is set. Then you sent it to the other peer. Everything happened on the here. You got the offer, set the remote description, created the answer, set the local description, got the ICE candidates, send it back. Right now other peer has everything. Other peer has ICE candidates. So it knows about you, it can connect. It has your offer, so it knows about your media and all. That simply means the second person knows everything about you. Now you have to know about the second person for that particular thing. It sent the answer, it sent the ICE candidates. I got them here. I already have my local description set, because once I created the offer, then I set the local description, and then only I got my ICE candidates. Right? Crazy way to write. Over here, first of all I created my offer, then I set the local description. Once I set the local description, I got the ICE candidates, right? Once I got the ICE candidates, then what will happen? I sent offer as well as ICE candidates to the other person. Now the other person knows about me, but remember, I already have my local description set. Really the most important thing. So what is remaining? Only one thing is remaining, that is remote description. Other user has both. Why? Because other user set the remote description using the offer that it got, then other user created the answer and set the local description. So remote description and local description, both of them are added or set on the other user side. I am the only one who is remaining. So I got the answer, I got the ICE candidates, I have the answer, I have the ICE candidates. What will I do? I will set the answer. Question: this answer was created on the other device, on the remote device. As I already have my set, I already have set a local description set. So local description is already set. So what is remaining? Remote description is remaining, and answer is only for remote description because answer was created on the other device. So it should be set on the remote description side only. So you got the answer, you set it to the remote description. You are getting one more thing, ICE candidates. Shouldn't you set the ICE candidate? Yes, you should. But when? ICE candidate should always be set or created at third place. Keep this particular thing in mind. I got the answer, I will set the remote description. Once it is set, then the job of ICE candidate will come, and before that I will say, okay, a remote description is not set, the same process that I did on the other side. Okay, so remote description is not set, I will be pushing them to the pending candidates. Okay, remote description is not set, go and wait, be the part of the array, and whenever the remote description is going to be set, I will be adding the candidates. So I will get all the candidates from the array and I will just simply set them. The most important thing, ICE candidates, either you generate them or you set them, they are always gonna be on the third place. When for the first time you actually generated your ICE candidates over here, So you created the offer, you set the local description, then you got the ICE candidates. So first place, second place, third place. So at the third place, you got the ICE candidates. When you sent it back to the other peer, so to the other peer, you send the ICE candidates and send the offer. You send it to the other peer. What happened? Other peer did not add the ICE candidate directly. Other peer first of all got the offer, set the remote description. So first place, second place, now the third place will actually come from the ICE candidates. So once your remote description is set, now you can add the ICE candidates. Before that, simply push them to the pending candidates. Create any array, push them there so that you have them, you don't lose them, because once you got the ICE candidates, you need them so that you can connect via using that particular ICE candidate. You need that, but you don't need that right now. So the place is always gonna be third. So you did the same thing, got the offer, first place, set the remote description, second place, and third place is gonna be adding the ICE candidate. So ICE candidate should always be added after adding the remote description. Same thing you are doing here. You got the answer. Okay, I got the answer. This is the first step. Then what do I have to do? Answer was created on the remote device, so I have to set the remote description. Okay, this is also done. Now the third place comes. First place, second place, and third place is actually gonna be for the ICE candidate. So okay, ICE candidate, is the remote description set? If yes, great job. If no, set it to the pending candidates. I mean, push it to the pending candidates. If yes, add the ICE candidates. What will happen now? Congratulations, two peers are going to be connected now. That simply means if you turn the camera on your side, the stream will automatically be sent to the other peer. Yeah, okay, that's great. What happened? Two peers are connected. Now peer 1, the host that I had, host number 1 and host number 2, they are connected. That simply means what? When I turn the camera on, my stream will be visible, okay, on my side. So whenever I turn the camera on, I will be seeing myself. Not only that, my stream will be sent to the other peer. Why? Because if you actually remembered, when I created my peer connection, what did I do? I actually got the tracks, local tracks, and set it to the peer connection. So my track, that can be audio track, that can be video track, that is already set. That simply means once the peer connection is created, my track was already set. That simply means my track is being sent to the other peer. Okay, got it. Your track is being sent to the other peer. How will other peer make sure that other peer is actually getting your track? You are sending it. Now other peer should receive it somewhere, right? If the other peer is not receiving it, then what is the sense? And similarly, other peer did the same thing. Other peer added the tracks when the peer created connection, peer connection for you, did the same thing. That simply means the tracks are getting sent to you. Somebody is sending something to you. But if you are not, I mean, there should be a method, there should be a way to get that, right? If you have a house, so you have a door to get inside the house. If you have a letter, if there or parcel that knows the address, then only you can get it. So your address is the receiver point, right? So if you ordered a parcel, so you when you get that, so that is delivered on your address. So your address is kind of the event, kind of the receiving point. So you need to have some kind of event, so that whenever you are getting something from the person, when you are getting the stream, okay, at that time there should be an event. As soon as you got that event will trigger, and then do whatever you want. So for that thing, we have this last event that is on track. That simply means other person, because whenever the peer connection gets established, other person will automatically start sending the streams and all. Now how will you get that stream is up to you, and for that thing we have an event called on track. Simply said, peer connection on track. Whenever you get a track, whenever you get a stream from the other person, okay, using the stream you can create the track. Stream is kind of the combination. Stream is the combination of multiple tracks. So inside stream you have multiple tracks, so either you call it stream or you call it track, depends on you. So whenever you get the stream, you get, by the way, both. You also get the stream, you also get the track. So whenever you get the track from the other peer, okay, then what will you do? Simple, you got the track, great job. Call it track or call it stream. You got that, simply, that's it, done. You got the stream from the other person as well. You already had your stream, you got the stream from the other person. Simply add that stream to the video element, and then you will be seeing the other participant as well. So once I got the stream from the other participant, I will be setting the remote stream. Why? This is remote stream is again an object. I'm setting is there, so that there could be possibility that I don't need a remote stream right now, but maybe I need it after some time. So I'm gonna be setting in an object. Once I set it, change the stream version whenever you get a new track, and this is just the extra stuff. Whenever I actually start working on it, I will just explain everything, but ultimately things should be clear. What things should be clear? On track, whenever you get the stream from the other peer, you know, okay, this is the stream that I got, this is the stream that contains audio track as well as the video track. If the user is sending, you can just simply assign it to the source object. What is the source object? This is a property that is related to your video element. You already know the video element of HTML part. So that video element, if you just reference to that, first of all get the video element. Once you get the reference of the video element, you can call it srcobject object, this particular property. So this particular property can be assigned this remote stream, and once it gets the remote stream, you will be seeing the other user as well. So ultimately your connection got created, you are already sending your information, stream to the other peer, you are even getting it, you are even setting it, done, great job, and that's it. As simple as that. And one more thing, suppose you turned off the camera, then what will happen? Whenever you turn off the camera, you can just simply disable the track. So enable is gonna be false. That simply means your track will still be sent. The track will be sent to the other peer. The thing is that will not be enabled, that will be disabled. That simply means audio track is being sent, but there is nothing inside the audio, or there is something, but there is nothing, call it like this. So it is disabled. So because of that thing, it is being sent, but there is nothing, there is just a track, nothing else. Okay, so you can disable it anytime. So whenever you click on the video, camera off or mic off, it is going to be disabled. When you click on screen share, what will happen? Simple. Screen share means you got a new stream. What is that stream? That is the screen stream. What should you do? You have already RTP sender. What is this sender? This sender contains the audio sender and video sender. When you got this RTP sender, when you actually created the peer connection initially, remember, when you created your peer connection, you set the tracks to the peer connection. Whenever you add the track to the peer connection, you get the RTP sender, you get the sender. What is that sender? That sender, if you are adding the audio track, that's gonna be audio sender. If you are sending video track, that's gonna be video sender. What is the job of that? So that if in future you actually click on screen share, simply means you have the screen stream. Once you have the screen stream, you don't have to do anything, just simply do this, that okay, you already have the video sender, and that video sender is sending your camera's video right now. As simple as that. What you have to do, as soon as I click on the button, screen share button, that video sender should stop sending the camera video, rather it should sending your video, screen's video. So what will you do? I have this video sender already, I will replace the track. Earlier there was the track of the camera's video, now I'm gonna be replacing the track with the screen track. That's it. So once it gets the screen track, your sender is already connected to the peer connection, so ultimately instead of you getting your camera's video sent, your screen will be getting sent to the other peer. It's as simple as that. Similarly, you can change the audio and you can do a lot of things. So overall, and one more thing, there is something called recording. Okay, how will you record? Suppose you clicked on recording button. Okay, so there is something called like a recording button. You clicked on that. What should happen? First of all, it should be clear what you want to record. Okay, you may want to record your video, you may want to record your audio, you may want to record both, you may want to record your screen plus video plus audio. Anything depends on exactly what you want to record. Once it is clear, okay, this is what I want to record, or it could be both. Once it is clear, this is the thing that I want to record, then what will happen? You should have the stream. As simple as that, because if you want to record something, you need to have the stream. Having the stream means you can get the tracks. And what are the tracks? That can be audio track or the video track. Okay, so something like this. So you should be clear what you want to record. Once you're sure, so get the track, stream of that. Getting the stream is really easy. Once you got the stream of that, then what you have to do? Pretty simple. You got the stream, great job. After that, you will actually create there is something called a new media recorder. This is just a class recorder. It will get your stream, and that's it. And from this you just get a object, call it recorder or media recorder, call it anything, media recorder. This is just an object that you get. So const media recorder, let's add const as well. So you get this media recorder const. So simple. First of all, you need to be sure okay, what you want to record. You can easily get the stream. Once you got the stream, you have to call this particular class media recorder stream. What will it do? It will give you media recorder object. What will this object is responsible for? If you call media recorder dot start, it will start recording the stream. Screen. So that's it. Your now screen is being recorded. If you call media recorder dot stop, your screen will stop getting recorded. As simple as that. Okay, this is done. So when you call this, it will be stopped. When you call this, it will be started. But when it actually starts, there are some events that you have to listen to. First event is when it actually starts. At that time, there is an event called you already have your stream, right? So stream is being recorded. That simply means stream dot, not really this, there is something event called on data available, something like this, and this event is actually called on something, I forgot that. So ultimately whenever you record that, so whenever you start recording, at that time data gets available, and that data will be in the form of chunks. So you will be saving the chunks in an array. So all the chunks are going to be saved in an array. After that you will have to create blob. What is blob? This is needed for creating the URL. Ultimately, what is blob? Blob just simply adds all the chunks, as simple as that. So there is something called new blob, I hope, something like this. There is a method like this, you can just simply search it on Google. So there is you will create blob. Blob does nothing, it simply adds, because you are getting the data into chunk format. So you will be just simply adding all the chunks. So once that is done, all the chunks are added, kind of that. After that you will get the blob. Using the blob you can actually create the URL. Using that particular URL you can download, but if you want to download, you should have an element, so that anchor tag ultimately. So you will create anchor tag. Why do you need anchor tag? So that you can add this particular URL to this. You can add a property called download, and you will automatically clicking that anchor tag. So you have anchor tag dot click, it will automatically run. So that will automatically be clicked. Whenever anchor tag is clicked and that download is added there, simply means whatever it is whatever source this anchor tag has, that particular thing will be downloaded. So this is how it simply goes. Let me show you this practically, exactly where am I doing this. First of all, as for the recording, again if you actually go to this, rather the document only, recording section, recording, let me remove this. I just added this extra thing over here as well, so that it can be understandable, but recording should be somewhere. Okay, this is the recording section. No, not this recording section. It turns out I don't really have that is in written format, but let me show you the code. So whenever I start recording, what do I do? Whenever I start recording on negotiation needed, recording will be in the media manager. So media manager, coming back to this. So over here I stop screen share. Let's not about, I'm talking about screen recording. So over here I record the screen. So first of all I have chunks, recording chunks. Why? Because I get the data in the chunks format. Okay, after that I'm getting the stream. As simple as that. I want to record, I need to have the stream. That stream I'm getting the display media. So media devices get display media. That simply means I'm gonna be sharing my screen, and at that time the audio and video, both of them are gonna be added. Apart from this particular stream, I'm going to get the audio of my camera. So what all am I getting? I want to record the audio of my camera, the screen's audio as well as the video. So I got the stream. After that I will combine those streams and I will create a new stream. So over here I created a new stream. This stream contains the tracks from the screen stream, that simply means audio and video of the screen, and audio stream, that means audio of the camera. So it contains all. Once I have my main stream, after that what can I do? After that I will call a method media record. It will just simply then I will have a start prop method on that. I will call it. So this is just a class. I just give the value of recording stream to that. So once it got the recording stream, now on the media recorder I will be able to call on start, so it will just simply start the recording. As soon as recording is started, then on data available, I will be getting data over here, but data is going to be in the form of chunks, so I will be saving the chunks in an array, so I will be pushing it in an array. And whenever this stops, so I can even stop it. So media recorder on stop. By the way, this is not for stopping it. The method is media recorder dot stop. So if you call this particular method, this is going to be stopped. Okay, but before that you need to whenever the recording stops, at that time what will you be doing? So you are asking for a name, so you will ask a user, okay, what should be the name of the file? The user will give you the name. You will stop the tracks, so whatever was being recorded, you will stop all the tracks. And after that you are creating blob. Blob just simply defines the type. It gets the recording chunks, it combines everything, and once you have the blob, using the blob you can create the URL so that you can download that particular video. And once you have, then you will be creating anchor tag element. You are adding the href URL, so URL of that blob only, that simply means URL for that particular video. And you are just simply setting a download file name plus .web. It simply says that when it actually gets downloaded at that time, the name should be file name and the type should be .web. So ultimately, like this is gonna be the name of the file that gets downloaded, and this is gonna be the last extension of the file. Okay, the last part. And lastly, the anchor tag should not be visible. It should be appended to the body element only. Then you can just simply click that and then simply click that particular anchor tag. You are creating the anchor tag and you are automatically clicking that whenever the anchor tag is clicked, because this is the URL that you have set in the anchor tag. So that particular file is going to be generated, and I'm specifically naming that particular file. This is how the name of the file should be, and then that's it. I'm just simply removing it from the body as well, and revoking the URL, in the sense the URL should not be working anymore, and that's it, done. And whenever I click on stop button, at the time I will have screen track. Okay, whenever it is ended, it will, whenever I click on stop recording, so at that time this stop recording will be running. So stop recording, what it does, it just simply runs this particular method. So media recorder dot stop. So when you started recording, that's great. When you want to stop recording, you will have to call that, as simple as that. And this is how it just simply goes on. And simply said, we have covered everything that we were supposed to be covering. That simply means this is how any WebRTC normal, because there is something called media soap. What is that media soap? I will be talking about that really soon. But the thing is that what happened right now, if you want to connect it to 5 people, you will have to create 5 peer connections. If you want to create if you want to connect to 100 people, you will have to create 100 peer connections, so that all those 100 peer connections can connect to those 100 people. And if there are 1000 people in your meeting, you are creating 1000 peer connections, your browser will start hanging. Even your browser will not be able to sustain even 10 peer connections. Peer connections are not lightweight, they are heavy. And if you are creating those many peer connections, your browser itself will not be able to handle that much load. So what is the another way? The another way is that there should be some kind of server. So instead of creating the peer connection for everybody, what you should do, if there are many people, so instead of you creating the connection for this user, creating the connection for this user, creating the connection for this user, and same they are creating the connection for you, they are creating the connection for this, they are creating connection for this as well. So instead of everybody creating the peer connections for everybody, what is the better job? The better way, you have to create only one peer connection. You create a server, that's it. How will you create it? We will talk about it. You create a server, and instead of creating because 1 2 3 there are 3 people, later there can be 100 people, so you will have to create 100 peer connections. So instead of doing this, just create, this is person 1, this is person 2, this is person 3, and this is person 4. So I'm saying there are 3 people apart from you, so instead of creating peer connections for all of them, create one peer connection and connect to server, the end. Similarly, another person will create a peer connection for it, this person will create a peer connection for this, and this person will create a peer connection for this. Simple, easy peasy. So right now you have to only create one peer connection, that's it. What is the benefit of that? Now that's because all of them, all the people are connected to this particular server, so that simply means now you have to send your media stream to this peer connection, okay, this server, and similarly P2 will do the same thing, P3 will do the same thing, and P4 will do the same thing. As simple as that. What will the server do? That's gonna be interesting part. What should this server do now? Okay, just a sec. Okay, what should this server? It will send the stream of P1, then P3, and then P4. Similarly, P3 has its own stream, so it needs the stream of P2, P1, and P4. So server will send it here. So this way, your browser is not going through a lot of pressure, right? Similarly, P4 will get the stream of P1 and P2 and P3. So this way you are only having to create one peer connection. You are connected to the server, and that server is responsible for just, and again, server doesn't have a lot of pressure on itself, like it is not handling a lot of data. Why? Because it just do one thing, it gets the stream, it sends it back, the end. What is your server doing? Your server simply gets your stream and sends that stream to the other peer. So it's like a bridge. It gets it and it will let it passage. So it is just simply broadcasting it. So this is how it simply goes. And for creating that server, there is something called media soup. Okay, so you need to know about this particular library. Again, this is a library that helps you create a peer connection on the backend side, and so that you can just connect it to that, because by default you can only create the peer connections on the front end. If you actually remembered, I created the peer connection on the front end because this code is only on the front end side, right? So how will you create it on the backend side? So for that thing you need a library called media soup, and using that you can do that. Do I know that? No. I just know the theory part. I don't know how this media soup works, so I need to know about it, and once I know, then I will be creating that. But before even that, what is the goal right now? Before even I will learn media soup, not really big problem, but before even that we have to do this. What is this? Let's discuss about this. We have to rebuild the same application. Right now I have discussed the theory part, and the next job comes. Okay, just a sec. Okay, why am I not able to do anything? Here we are. So the next job comes is the rebuilding part. But again, things are not gonna be same. Even if I'm rebuilding something again, it's gonna be different. So this is gonna be the rebuilding part that will start from tomorrow. And what will I do? First of all, in this particular section, I used Redux for state management. In the second part, like in this particular, when I rebuild it, I will be using Zoo stand. So this is gonna be the difference. For the first time when I started building it, so I used Node. This time I'm gonna be using Bun. For the first time, I did not use Turbo Repo, but this time I'm gonna be using Turbo Repo setup. So it's gonna be like that. For the first time, I did not. I had proper backend. Okay. This time, what will I do? I will create backend and frontend both on the front. I mean on the Next.js side. So Next.js will be responsible for frontend as well. Backend plus frontend, both of them. But not only that, I will have to create, because earlier Next.js backend does not support socket. That simply means I will have to create a different server. So I will have to create a server, but for WebSocket. So socket.io. For this I will have to create the server. Earlier I used passport.js. For authentication. Right now I'm gonna be using BetterAuth for authentication. Earlier, and again, how will I authenticate? This is the problem. How will I authenticate the user on the socket side? Because I will create a different server for the user, and the question comes, how will I authenticate the user? This is the problem. I will have to know more about it. Okay, we'll do it together. Okay, and then for the first time initially, when on this particular project, the project that we were discussing, we used Multer. Here we will be using Express Upload. Here we used Cloudinary, and here we will be using S3. This is the storage of AWS. So this is gonna be used, and this is how we are gonna be going ahead. So I hope it makes sense. And lastly, once it is created, we will deploy it. So this particular part is gonna be deployed, and once this is done, then what is gonna be the next step? Learning media soup and then it will keep going, and then I will repeat the things and all. So I will learn media soup after this particular thing is done. Okay, before that I will not learn the media soup. I don't even have that much time. So let's rebuild this using different tech stack, so that we are not repeating the same thing over and over. Rather, we are going through different tech stack. That simply means learning will happen a lot. We'll go through so many things. We will ultimately end up learning, and at the end of the day, we will end up creating the video application again. We already have the theory part. The best thing is that we have everything in the proper format, the diagram manner. So we have to just do whatever has been written here, and whatever the flow is here, and the same way we will be doing. I will be explaining, you will be seeing, and then it will be done. Okay, apart from this particular thing, nothing else. And let me do one more thing. Okay, this is the thing, that's okay. Am I facing the network issue? Turns out yes, I am facing the network issue. Just a minute. Right now I'm not facing. Great job. Okay, there is one more thing, and it's time to talk about something different. Let me log in here on my AWS, because there is one more work that I have to do. I have to create auto scaling groups, and that should be for I will be showing you one thing. How can you create your own VS code? Pretty simple thing. I mean, there are already libraries and they just simply give you the code. You have to just simply run the code, and you will have your own VS code. I mean, that will be even that VS code is going to be deployed on AWS. So using the link, you can just simply get the VS code. You can write the code. You can install. I mean, you can do everything. This is also possible. So we will be just simply what we'll do. First of all, we will run the VS code online. Like we will run the code of the VS code, so that we get we'll be able to see, I mean, use VS code on localhost. After that, we will deploy it, and once that is actually deployed, and then we will know more about auto scaling groups. So this is how it's gonna be going on. Let me enter the password and all, and it's gonna be pretty much fantastic. So the title of the video was like this. The title of the video is what? There are two things. There is WebRTC section, we have already gone through. There is ASG section, and it should be better VS code plus ASG. So I should say VS code clone. This is not a clone. VS code only, and ASG. This is how it's gonna be going on. So let's simply start discussing about that. Coming back to this one, AWS. Oh, I have to just simply log in here. Let me enter the password, and I hope the password is gonna be right. MFA code. Let me enter that. The thing is that today, throughout the day, I've been just out, and because of that thing, I couldn't really go live. And there are a lot of things that I have to do, so it's better to just simply make it quick. The password of my device is quite a long one, and it's gonna be taking some time to just simply enter the right password too. But okay, enter the right password, thankfully. And right now I have to enter the code. Great. So the code is gonna be here. Okay, and enter. Hopefully it's gonna be the right one. Unauthorized, yeah, it's right. If it is saying unauthorized, but I know that success, I mean I got signed in. Here we are, and even I had many things running over here, and that's okay. I have a lot of credit, so even if I have many things running, that's not really a big problem. Coming back to this one, first of all, what are we gonna be doing? First thing, first of all, we will be creating auto scaling groups, and they are gonna be for a normal application. So suppose I have a normal application, a normal code, normal server, I must say. We will be deploying that particular server, and then we will create auto scaling groups. So ultimately instances are gonna be created automatically. Let's do that from scratch. So let me go to EC2 machine, and in this particular EC2 machine, I'm gonna be just checking all the instances. I must have already some instances. They are not running, but I have them. So wow, United States. Let me go to the Mumbai, and here I should have instances again, but they should be. Wow. I think instances, they get terminated. I do have auto scaling group right now. So this is the auto scaling group for both, and but because the number of the instances has been set to 0, so that simply means auto scaling group automatically stops the instances or terminates them. So let's do one thing. First of all, we will have to create not demo. We will have to create a pre-instance that is actually kind of a structure. So we will have to create example instance, so that with the help of that particular example we can create the images, and with the help of the images we can create the launch templates and all, and we will just simply go ahead with the process. First of all, I will have to create a launch instance. So let's simply create this. This is gonna be just for testing one. So testing app, let's simply name it this. Well, yeah, let's go ahead. Then I will just select Ubuntu over here. Ubuntu is going to be the machine, and after that let's wait for a while, and coming back to this one, the size is going to be T3 small. It has 2 CPUs and 2 GB memory and all. Once this is done, the keep your name, either you can create a new one from here. I'm gonna be using the existing one, and that is the Vipendra AWS key. I already have it. I already have it on my device, and then this particular thing, the image, let me add some extra HTTPS internet traffic. Is this allowed? Allow HTTPS traffic from the internet, allowing it from the internet. If I don't allow this, then what will happen? Let's see. By the way, this is the default one in the sense, if I allow SSH from here, so SSH will be allowed. That simply means I'll be able to SSH into the machine. I will be able to go into the machine, and that happens on port 22. If I allow this, allow HTTPS traffic from the internet, let me even make it bigger, just like this. So if I allow HTTPS traffic from the internet, so HTTPS, I mean what requests are going to be allowed, and that happens on port 443, 443. And if I allow 80, HTTP request, so HTTP requests are going to be allowed, and we get them on port 80. But I don't want this. Rather, I want to allow for a request on port 3000 or port 8000. What port? Port 8000, because I think that's gonna be the one over here. So first of all, let's name the security group. Select existing security groups. Okay, we can't really create one. Can we create it? We can create it, we can allow it, but at the end of the day, we can't allow the port number. Never mind, we will be doing it. And allowing this HTTPS and HTTP, they are not required, because they'll be HTTPS will be allowed on port 443, and HTTP is going to be allowed on port 80. If you are using Nginx for reverse proxy and all, at that time they are quite important. Right now they are not. So let's simply go ahead, and that's it. You don't really need to do anything else. So I hope it should be just simple, easy peasy. Let's simply click on launch instance, and we have quite a lot to do. It's not like we have a little bit stuff. We have a lot of stuff. Even you can create the instances directly from here, and rather it provides you methods as well, classes as well, credentials as well. Using them, you can just simply create the instances, delete the instances from your code, from your server. So this is even possible. So we will be going through that. So I got the IP address of this particular let me close this. I got the IP address. Once I got the IP address, I'm going to be back here, and let me make it bigger, just like this, ls, and let me go to downloads right now. And once I'm inside download, let me open it with the code. Okay, so this is going to be opened with the code over here, and let me close this. I'm inside my download folder, if I'm not wrong. ls, okay, I am bro, cd ls downloads. Okay, now open it with code. So I'm already inside this, and I'm already inside this. Let me collapse everything. Once everything is collapsed, let me be back here. I'm in my download clear folder. Once I'm inside this, what will I do? I have something called not income certificate. I have Vipendra AWS key. Using this key, I will be able to connect to this particular server that is already running. So let me do one thing. Sudo ssh into what? Ssh into machine using this particular private key. The name is the Ubuntu @ this. Let's simply enter. I have to enter my password. Once the password is actually entered, and then I will have to add the fingerprint and all. Once everything is done, then I'm inside the machine. Inside the machine, I can just simply if you just write present working directory, then you will be getting home and Ubuntu. This is just a new Ubuntu machine, the machine that I'm actually running here over here. the same machine, the instance I created the EC2 instance, and that simply means I created a machine, virtual machine on the AWS, and I'm inside the same machine right now. And right now I can just do whatever I want. By the way, first of all, I want to update everything. So sudo apt update. I can even upgrade the stuff here. This code, whatever I'm doing, this is not running on my own device, rather this is running on the EC2 machine, virtual machine that I created. So I need to, I think, wait for a while. Okay, this is done. Even if I show ls, so there is nothing. If I show you present working directly, it is simply saying that there is home, there is Ubuntu, and there is nothing else. So what should I do next? Next is that sudo apt upgrade. This is not needed, but you can do that. You can upgrade all the packages that are there. So if you actually download something here, that will not be downloaded on your local device. That will be downloaded on the AWS EC2 instance that you created, virtual machine. So even if you are doing upgrading this stuff, your local system is not getting upgraded, rather that EC2 machine is getting upgraded. So keep that particular thing in mind. It's gonna take a while, so let's simply get it done, and then we'll just simply continue from here. So let's wait for a while. It's been, how long has it been, by the way, since I've been live? So it's been 1 hour and 30 minutes. Great. It's gonna be taking some more time, like around an hour if I'm not wrong, but let's see. So 83%, let it get done, and then we'll continue from here. I have to install many things, or maybe I will write the code on my own. Okay, let's write the code on my own here. Writing the code on my own does not really make sense, so I will create a file and push it to the GitHub, and then this is how we will be going ahead. Time to use bun for the first time. Great. So for using bun, there should be 3 routes. They should be doing something or the other. Yeah, why not? Gonna be great. So this is done, right? Yeah, ls. So over here, what I want to do, I want to actually clone the code from my GitHub. Okay, and before even that, I want to install Node, because if you say Node version, there is no Node, so I can install Node. So let's go to what? Let's go to Node.js website. Over here, click on this, click on download, click on select Linux, select NVM, select npm, copy it, and then using this your code is going to, Node is going to be downloaded. What we are doing over here, first of all, we have this curl this, it simply installs that. So, and then nope, it what it does something. You'd better know more about it. I knew it, I forgot it, what it actually does. So let me know more about it. Install Node on Ubuntu, because if you are using some commands, you should be knowing that, right? So there is a proper documentation over here, so you can go through this DigitalOcean. And coming back to this, the third number process over here, this is gonna be the one. So first of all, this command you can run, and is what it does. Before piping the command through bash, it always good idea to audit the script to make sure it's doing anything you don't agree with. So it's like what it does, you are gonna be using bash terminal, okay, and this curl command gets the script and simply saves it in the bash. Okay, this is what it does, and after that you can just simply source it into bash rc. So you can run the command in the bash rc that are there in the bash rc file, and then you can install the package, the node. So the same thing we are doing over here. Curl https get https raw git hub user content blah 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 blah. What it does, it gets the script for the Node.js, it saves the script in the bash rc file. Once that is saved, then what you are doing, home nvm sh, it maybe it simply restarts the shell. So yeah, it does restart there are 2 ways. First of all, you can write something called source bash rc, like this one, the way it's been used over here. So this thing you can say source and bash rc. When you just run this particular command, that simply means whatever there is inside bash rc, that simply runs. And apart from this particular thing, this is the command, and it is just simply used for restarting the shell. It also this runs the code inside the bash rc and all. This restarts the shell, so there is a difference. And by the way, your ultimate goal is that this script that you got and that is saved inside bash rc file, that script should be running. And there are 2 ways to run that script. Either you restart your terminal, whenever the terminal restarts, whatever is inside bash.rc file and all that runs. And if you don't want to restart it, you can run this particular file and it will be running it directly. So it's completely up to you. Here this command simply restarts it. After that, what am I doing? nvm install 24. It means install the node whose version is 24. Simple. After that, getting the checking the version of the node, checking the version of the npm. So these are the three important steps. First of all, I'm getting the script. Once I got the script, saving it in the bash in the sense bash rc file, it gets saved there. And after that, I will even show that whether it has actually been saved in the bash rc file or not. And let me do one thing. ls, if you say cd and this I don't know the name of this particular thing, just on the left side of 1 you will get this particular punctuation mark and all. If this could be called something, but if you just cd into this, so you will be redirected here. And not there. If you cd into if you cd slash, that simply means you will be redirected to the root directory. So now you are in the root directory. Just write ls, and inside this you are getting many things like system files and all. And if you just say ls and a stands for what, hidden files and all, because there are some hidden files as well. So if you just write this, so you are not getting it here, bad. So where do you need to go for getting the bash rc file? Where is the bash rc file? cd, I think you need to go here only, over here, this whatever this is. And if you just write ls and a, you are getting your bash rc file over here. Let's see what is inside this bash rc file. So what I'll do, I'll do cat and dot bash rc, just like this. And right now I have these many things inside my bash rc file. So I have a lot of steps. These are the things, these are the commands of the bash rc file and all. So ultimately it ends with this if elif fi, it ends with this. Now let's get the script. If I go here, this is the first command that I had it here. Let me even zoom it a bit, and this is the first command that I had it. If I copy it and if I just run this command, that's it. So if I go here again, I'm still on my EC2 machine, on the virtual machine. So if I'm installing it, it's getting installed there. So if I run this command only, then what will happen? Do that, it's getting installed. Wait for that. Okay, this happened. After that, what it is saying, export nvm dir home nvm this much. This loads a new bash completion. This loads nvm. So ultimately this needs to be the part of what? This needs to be the part of your bash rc file. Is this the part of bash rc file? Yes. Now yeah, as soon as you, first of all, your bash rc file ended with this much, then as soon as you run this command, so what this command did, it got the script from the internet, it pushed the script inside the bash rc file, it added in the bash rc file. So now if you go into the bash rc file, you are getting this much. What does this mean? Whenever you restart your terminal, this bash rc file runs. Great job, this runs. What happens when it runs? When it runs, it is just simply saying that nvm dir is equal to home and dot nvm. This is where the nvm actually is, So first of all, it defines the nvm dir where the nvm is, and after what it's saying, it runs a command that does something. That command loads the nvm so that you have used nvm to be used. Similarly, this is the another command. It runs this command as well, and this command loads the bash completions and all, nvm bash completions. So ultimately nvm bash completions, everything get this command runs, so that gets loaded. Okay, but right now you just simply ran this command, you got it saved in the bash rc file, but you did not restart your terminal. So if you restart your terminal, this will run, but right now you did not start your terminal. So what is the option that you have? First option is that you call source/bash source dot this dot bash rc. You run this command. What will this command do? This command will just simply run it. Okay, whatever it is here, it will run it. What is the next command? The next command is you restart the terminal. So first of all, if you go here, if you go to over here on DigitalOcean, so you have this particular command. This command simply runs it. So if you actually have a look over here, so This will install nvm script to your user account. To use it, you must source your bash rc file, sourcing in the sense that is a source available, as simple as that, and kind of that runs the most. Now you can ask nvm which version of node are available and all. Okay, so this is how it simply goes. It needs to run, and then only it's going to be loaded. Apart from, what is the another thing? The another thing is that you restart your terminal. So for restarting your terminal, you will have to run this particular command. This does restart the terminal on, restarts the terminal. So right now, if you just say nvm version, there is no nvm version. Of course, we haven't installed npm node version. There is no node. But if I run this command, so nvm will be loaded. So if I run this command, so what happened? Whatever I had inside my cat and dot bash rc file, this particular part ran. It simply loaded nvm. So if I say nvm version, here we go. You have the nvm version. How did you get that? Earlier you did the same thing, you did not get that, but right now you have the nvm version because you ran this particular code. You restarted your terminal, and as terminal got restarted, you got the nvm over here. It got loaded. As it got loaded, you have the version right now. Do you have the version of the npm? No. Do you have the version of node? No. So how will you get it? You will have to install it. So you will have to run a command called npm install 24. So this nvm, because you have nvm right now, you don't have npm. So nvm install 24. This will install the 24th version of node. So even if you just like in nvm remote list, it will give you all the list. I hope this is the command. Let's go to the DigitalOcean. Everything is mentioned here. nvm list remote, this is the command. So if you just say nvm list remote, it will give you all the versions that are available. So if you click this, so these are the versions of node that are available. This 24 ones is the latest one. There are more versions, but they not be that much optimized and all. So this 24th version everyone is using. Even it is saying that import install this particular version, and there are many versions. You can just simply install them, but I want this 24th one. So I will say nvm install 24, and 24th number version will be installed. So that's what we are doing over here. nvm install 24. Coming back to this one, first of all, over here you will be doing the same thing. nvm install 24. Again, you can add more things. Okay, 24.13.0 and all. This way you can go ahead, or you can directly say 24. A 24 will be installing the latest version. That means this version should be installed. But let's see, run it and see whether it is actually going to be done or not. So now what we got? Now using node, we got the 24.14.0 version of the same version that we got. So if you just run 24 directly, it gives you the latest version, so you don't really need to worry about that. And then the 24th version is this, and the default is gonna be this. So it simply means it has the default one. ls, now if you say node version, you are getting this 24th version plus some extra they are the patches. Okay, version means everything changed. Patches are there are minor patches, there are some major patches, and when everything got changed. If you know about this dot. So okay, that's great. Otherwise, just skip it. They are just simply the 14 simply says that it got changed 14 times, and if that is 0, that is the minor one, then I think it becomes major, and then it becomes tagda wala, update, something like that, if I'm not wrong. By the way, let me control shift C. It's good time to just simply know this. So I think AI will be able to tell me about this versioning system. Means dot. So for example, so there are 3 parts. So first one, 24 is gonna be the major, and then minor, and then patches. So what I mean, first of all, patches are normal patches, normal bugs fixes and all. So this is gonna be normal patch. So like 24.1.2.3, 24.14.1.2.3.4.5, it can be anything. Then we have that 14 one, the part which is in the middle, that is the minor one, like something got changed, maybe a new feature got added. So patch, this is for bugs, fixes or small improvements. No new feature, no breaking changes, so it is just normal. Okay, don't need to worry about it. Minor version is this for, I mean the middle one. This adds new feature but without breaking existing code. Your code should still work normally, so don't still need to worry about that. And there is called major version 24. This is big version. It changes when there are breaking changes. Old might stop working and all. So this is how it just simply goes ahead. So I hope it is clear. Coming back to this one, we have discussed quite a lot of things in detail. So we have installed node, and after that I'm gonna be installing bun. So bun install. Why do we install bun? Because I want to use that. Bun install. Let's go here, let's click on this, and if you go to bun, I will click on this, not this, Mac, Linux and all. This is the command for installing bun. So I will be just simply copying it. Once I copied this, whenever I do something, I just don't want to repeat the things, so it's better to just try something new and do the previous thing. Okay, I'm gonna be installing bun over here. Let's, oh okay, it is just simply saying that for installing bun you need to have unzip installed. So as we have npm, if you run this, we already have npm, so npm install unzip, that's it. Let's simply run it. Unzip is going to be installed, and I think I need to install it globally. So npm, what it suggests, let me come back here. It will do the tell me the same thing, that oh sorry, I don't need to install using npm, I need to install it using sudo and all. So sudo apt install unzip. So let me do that. Sudo apt install unzip, just like this. Let's simply start this. So it is going to be installed. Once this is installed, then I can ls. Now I can install my bun. So let's simply do this, and what it is saying, get the script, and simple, curl will get the script. It will save the script inside bash, and then you have to run source home this bash rc, so that bash rc actually runs. Okay, because if you say bun version, there is no bun right now. If you try if you cat bash rc file right now, so sorry, cat where am I, ls a, I already have bash rc, so cat dot bash rc. So over here you got one more. This one, this part, this script was for node.js. This script is for bun, but it needs to run. So there are two things: either you restart your back terminal, or you run the script directly. And here I am getting the option to run the script directly. It is just simply saying, oh my god, it, oh, such a big code. Okay, let's go to the top. Here what it said, here it said run source home ubuntu bash rc. At the end of the day you have to run the bash rc file, and once you run that, ubuntu bash rc. Okay, by the way, let me copy it. But why is it saying that I have to, why is it saying that I have to load the bash rc file from home? So this particular part that it is actually suggesting, this one, I want to check this thing. Do I have bash rc file inside ubuntu as well? Oh, I have to copy that. Sorry, let me do it again. Control shift c. Okay, this is fine. Come back here. If I actually go to ls cd this ls, sorry, cd this ls cd home slash ubuntu ls and ls a. Do I have bash rc file? Yeah, cat bash rc. What do I have the same things here. So it is just simply saying that you have the bash rc file here as well. Amazing job, didn't know this, but yeah, we do have it here. So at the end of the day I will be running it again, and when I run it, and that's it, the job is done. So once you run, now if you say bun version, you have the buns version, so you have the bun as well. The next thing is that I'm gonna be installing pm2. What is gonna be, why do we need this? We need pm2 so that using pm2 we can actually run the code. So even if the code server crashes and all, pm2 will restart that. So that's the job of pm2. So pm2 install, come back here. This is the, not this one, This is the website of PM2, not even the website is something else. So by the way, I can do pm install pm2 and it is going to be start, and these are the commands if you want to start that. This is how it looks like and all. Coming back to this one, there are many start, I mean whatever, you can restart, stop it, restart it, delete it, start, describe it, you can do many things here, you can know more about it, and ultimately this is how it looks like. Okay, let's simply stop it and let's simply focus on installing that. So I will be installing it globally. So let me go to the website of pm2 install, and if I come back here, this is the main website if I'm not wrong. I want to just go to the this as well, and it is simply saying that if you are using on yarn, do this, npm do this to install it globally. If you are using yarn to install it globally, you will have to write global here, and then apt update install in Debian versions and all, you can do it like this, and then it just simply keeps going on and all. So let's do it. I'm gonna be using npm over here. So npm install pm2 and I wanna install globally, so it's going to be installed. Great job, so far so good. What is the next thing? The next thing is that I am going to create a project using bun. I will push that particular project to the GitHub, and then from there I will clone that particular project over here. I will run it here, and ultimately kind of I will deploy it here. So kind of the deployment is gonna be done. And one more thing, when it comes to deployment, okay, why not create, now it's gonna be, I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's better to do this. So why not create a CI/CD pipeline as well? It's gonna be too much, but why not do this? 3000, create a normal server and use CI/CD pipeline. Okay, just what should be happening here? I mean, I'm thinking of many things right now, and I want to do it because it's been quite a long time even creating CI/CD pipelines and all, and when we create them we face lots of errors and also, yeah, better to do that, good to do that. Coming back to this one, what I want to do here, okay, over here, the simple thing is that first of all, create a server, normal server using bun and all. So bun is going to be used. Then write CI CD pipeline code, then push it to GitHub, and again I will have to configure GitHub so that GitHub is able to push it to the there. Okay, apart from this particular thing, use nginx. So nginx is going to be used, so I will have to allow HTTPS and HTTP requests this time. So it's better to I have already allowed them or not, I don't know, maybe. So use this, and what else, use nginx, use domain plus certificates, they are gonna be used, proper server normal, and what else? Okay, I mean this is it, that's it, nothing. Then after that, create image, AWS, so AMI AWS image, images. After that, create a launch template. After that, after creating the launch template, create target groups, create a load balancer so that it balances the load and all, last create auto scaling groups. So this is the job for now, I mean this is the goal for now. So these are the things that we have to go through. Okay, first of all, creating the server using bun. So of course we'll have to create a initialize the project locally. Right now we are inside the virtual machine, so let's simply exit from here, and now I'm on my local machine. And on my local machine, what will I do? I have mobile magic and all. Let me open another project, other project. Coming back to this one, this is just gonna be learning one, I'm gonna be deleting it later. So let's simply create this, come back to this one, let's simply open it with code. Okay, I'm inside this. So this time I'm gonna be actually going through a lot of things, like it's been months even creating a CI/CD pipeline, It's not like I will not understand the code. I will understand the code. It's like if I write the CI/CD pipeline on my own, I will definitely get stuck. So I will get the examples from online and from my notes. I already have notes. The best thing of my learning is that even if I learned something months ago, I have them saved in my notes. So I can go to my notes, I can visit them, I will understand. I know that. Okay, by the way, coming back to this one, what should be the name? Learning. Okay, that's fine. ls git init. First of all, I'm gonna be initializing git, and git branch name is gonna be main. ls, let's make it a bit bigger, just this much should be fine. Okay, once I have done this much, after that bun. Do I have node? You need to have node version, npm version, I mean you need to have all this. Okay, node, I don't have the uh, latest version of node, so I have nvm. Okay, I have. Can I do nvm install 24? I can. So let's see, give me a moment until it's getting installed and all. Alrighty, coming back to this. Okay, here we are. So it got installed, and right now it is saying that you are using 24, I mean 14, I mean this is the minor patch, but yeah, I am using the latest version right now. Okay, what is the next thing that I can do? ls, the next thing is that if I just say which node is on this particular path, if I say which bun is on this particular path, so they are on different paths, so keep this particular thing in mind. Which pm2, I don't have pm2 here. Okay, so by the way, this is how we are gonna be going ahead. What is the next thing? I'm gonna be going to the website of the bun, because I'm still learning bun. So bun, so it's not like I know about the commands and all, but still I want to go to the website so that I know about more things. So coming back to this one, I already have the bun, yes or no? Yeah, I do have that. Then after that, bun upgrade and all these other things that we can. Let's simply click on quick start, and I'm gonna be initializing the project. So let's simply do it like this, call it, and this, and by the way, this name is gonna be testing app. Let's do it. Now I want to react code, I mean react what react basic code library, I mean it will just do extra things, but I just need blank here right now. So let's simply go with this, and now bun is gonna be initialized. So great, bun is going to be getting initialized. Let's do one thing. Let me directly go to cd testing, and let's simply open directly in the testing one, so that I'm directly in the main dir. Okay, great, here I am, and bun initialized these many things. Great, it's pretty simple one. This is the index.html file that I have. I'm getting this issue over here. It is simply saying that can't find console. Do you need to change the target library, the lib? So try changing lib compiler to option include DOM. So I need to include DOM over here. So let's come back to this one, add DOM here, and that's it. Once this got done, come back here, it is working fine. ls bun has already installed everything, so let's simply run it. So bun, I have to run index.ts, and when I run it, it simply runs it and all, and that's the job is done. Okay, what is the next thing that we have to do? The next thing is that we have to initialize the server. Okay, bun even provides this, like if you want to create a server using bun, so you can say const server is gonna be is equal to bun dot, again if you just say bun dot server, and over here you need to have an object. That object will be having the port and all, but again new error. What is this error? Can't find bun. Do you need to install type definitions? Try doing this bun and then add bun to the types field in your ts config. Great. Do I have bun already types? It turns out I already have the types of the bun. So first job is already done. What is the next thing? Next thing, first of all, it is saying that download that. I already have downloaded. Add bun to the types field in your ts config. This is something that I have to do. So over here in the ts config file, I have to create types, and over here I have to add bun. I hope this is what it is saying me to, asking me to do. Come back here, check this thing. I have to add bun to the types field in ts config. Went to the ts config. This is the problematic, so let's make it capital. Okay, not bun, bun, अरे कुछ भी तो हो जा, bun, I mean this is how it should be, right? Come back here again, add bun to the types field in your TS config. So maybe somewhere here, will it be resolved? Let's simply reload the page. Reload, let's see, will I still get the error? It turns out I'm not. Oh, I am. A git repository was found in the parent never. Okay, so this is the problem, like I still have this problem. So what will I do? I will go back here. I think it is inside this one, and when I have this inside this, so I'm getting this error. Incorrect type, expected one of array or null. It is just simply saying that it does not need a string, rather it needs an array. Inside that you can just specify bun, and that is it. As soon as I specified this, the error should be gone from here. So the error is gone from here. Now I can specify the port number. The port number is actually going to be maybe 3000, and I can specify what, I don't know. So fetch, so this is gonna be the slash, I mean how does this work, slash okay, let's go to bun itself. I need to know more about it. Okay, so it is just simply saying that you can just simply have routes, and there can be multiple routes, and you can just simply return the response from here. That's amazing job. So let's simply have the routes over here. So it's gonna be like this. I can have multiple routes over here, and there's gonna be which route, this is gonna be slash route, and from whenever the request comes here, there's gonna be just normal function, and from this particular function I can return a new response just like this, and I will say hello there. So this is how I created a server, but I will use express over here, but I created that. Okay, once that is created, you can just simply listen to that, and you can just listening on this server URL. So CLG listening on, and then server I have .url I will get from here. So it is just listening on, sorry, server.port, not URL. So it is listening on that particular port. Listening on server.url, really? Okay, let's simply run it. ls bun index.ts, listening on port 3000. If I just name it URL, what will happen? I will have to restart it again, and then it just simply listens on, listening on port. Okay, great job listening on this particular part. Oh, amazing job. So by the way, it listens there. Apart from this particular thing, there is something called nodemon. You know that this nodemon, I can install it here in bun, but bun already provides something called watch mode. So you don't need to install node, rather you can just simply use the watch mode over here. So if I say bun index bun watch mode index.ts, now it is running on the watch mode. That simply means if I just change it a bit, maybe I'm logging something, so inside this CLG hi there, and then at the end I'm just simply returning the response, and of course I'm returning the response from here. So this is how it's gonna be going on. By the way, I will have to restart it. I think I don't need to restart it. If I write anything here, writing anything here in the sense CLG hi, so I don't need to restart my server, rather it simply restarts it. So if I make any change here, hi, bye and all, it just simply works. So this is the thing that we have. But the thing is that there is another thing that is called bun hot, and what happens is that what is the difference between them? Watch hard reloads it. Hard reloads in the sense, if you have some variables state saved in the global state, at that time they will be reset as well. But hot reload means soft reload. Global variables, they don't get reset, so you can just, it does the same thing. It simply, it is a soft reload, and watch means hard reload. Hard reload in the sense, watch will restart everything, and hot will not restart everything, it will not reset your global variables and all. So this is the only difference. Apart from this particular thing, if you just simply say hi over here, you will get hi here. If you say hi bye tata here, you will be getting hi bye tata there. Let's simply close this, and this is how it works. And we can go with this particular uh, I mean server as well. So this is gonna be the server for us, and I think it is pretty much good one. What did we want to do? We wanted to create a server, right, that does the job. So we already have this server, so let's simply go with the one only. So I have this home route, or let's make it health check, health check, and I think it should be health check, something like this. Okay, let me ask AI about the name, because most of the time I get confused with the names and I want to have good names. So health check route versus health check, like this. So both health usually mean the same thing. Health check, this is a single word, and okay, and what you recommend? So which one is better? REST APIs developers usually prefer health check user profile in this order history. So because URL are easier to read and all, so yeah, this is gonna be recommended one. So real world uses common health check status. So I can have one thing like health that will be checking the health, or health check. So okay, I'm gonna be going with health check for now. So this is gonna be route. Apart from this particular thing, host slash host, it will be telling me about the host machine. And for knowing about the host machine, what will I do? Again, you can use Express over here for creating the server. It's not like Express cannot be used. Express can be used too, but I'm using Bun over here because I already know Express, and if you are writing the same code over and over, you are not quite learning. So I'm using Bun over here so that I'm actually learning too, and server is gonna be doing the same thing, so no problem as such. Okay, and I'm not quite able to specify the name of the request, like that can usually they are the get requests here. So if I go to Bun, usually they are the get requests, and Figlet, what does this do? Figlet text assessing Bun and all. Okay, so this is the type, I mean that is mainly used for uh, creating designs and all. That's okay, in with the help of the text format. And I can have a command called bun run index.ts. It will be just simply running that, and bun run start. Okay, that is mainly for the starting things and all. And apart from that thing, nothing else. Bun run time, watch time and all. And if I just click on HTTP server, so this is how they simply create the server. So I can have API routes like this, then user IDs and all. And right now, how am I specifying that name? Okay, here. So inside that particular route, you can have get method, you can have post method. So this is how you can have them, because we will be having them here. And if you want to create an API that is for everything, so it will be not found in all. So let's simply create a proper backend using this. Let's simply go through the code of this Bun, and let's create a proper server. Will not be using Express over here, rather will be using Bun. And this is how the server is actually going to be created. We are already using type over here. The documentation is already here. We already have our proper plan. What is the plan? This is the plan. We are gonna be creating a server, then remaining things are gonna be done. But before that, I'm just gonna be taking going to go and have my dinner. After that, I'll be back and continue from here. As for this thing, we will get everything done, so not really a big problem. Give me 10 to 15 minutes. Let me have my breakfast. After that, breakfast, is it morning? Let me have my dinner. After that, I'll be back and I'll continue from here on. Okay, we will do everything. We will create proper server in Bun. Not only Bun, I mean deployment, from creating everything from scratch to deploying and making it available, using the certificates, using the domain. We'll get it done, everything in the same go. Like I will not do anything else when I'm actually doing this, but I will do it after having something. I'm hungry and I don't have much energy left, so let me just take a break for 15 minutes and all, and after that I'll be back and continue. Bye bye, take care and see you.